Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Family by Design. Here, Liz and I answer the question, is sex important? And so I'm going to tell you now, if you're like an offended kind of person, you're not going to want to listen to this because a lot of people don't think that Christians should be talking about sex. But I'm going to tell you something, we should be leading the conversation in it because God designed it. And so we need to be the ones that create the boundaries to make it healthy. So, hey, listen, pull off all of your potential offendedness, have ears to hear, and this is going to help you. It's going to bless you. So be encouraged, be blessed. Probably send the kids out of the room, but be blessed as you listen.
Got a question for you.
Okay, yes. I already know what it is, obviously. So,
how important is sex?
Ask 100 guys that on a scale of 1 to 10 in their marriage.
And they're all
going to give you a 10 out of 10. Ask women that question, and they're all going to give you a 1 out of 10.
Oh, that is not true. They would say 10, but there would be an
asterisk next to it. Yeah.
An asterisk. Yeah. I said that right. Good for me.
You just said but and then asterisk, so I was concerned about what
I know,
you were going to say.
Me
it's
too.
Whoa, come on.
But I was going to say...
We're talking about body parts already jumping into this conversation.
Will sex fix everything?
No, we got to answer the first question first.
No. I think it's...
I mean, the answer to that is yes.
Oh, it will?
Yes.
It will not.
It fixes everything.
It does not.
It doesn't.
It doesn't fix much other than that you're connected.
Whoa.
It is important.
How important is it? That's the question.
How important? It's very.
I didn't answer the question actually.
How important is sex?
So this is in context of like coming together.
Yeah.
So let me say this before you give your answer. let me tell you something.
Tell me.
If you have a marriage that is sexless.
That sounds ridiculous.
But if you did, there are people that have that, and there are people that deal with medical conditions and things like that. So, I mean, there's grace and there's understanding there. Plus, I don't really want to particularly know where people are at with that anyways. Unless they need help, then we're here to help, right? But for those people that have like medical conditions and stuff, like it's like, hey, you have a pass. It's fine. But for everybody else that is in marriage,
don't be sexless.
Don't be sexless.
Not sexist.
Don't be sexist either.
But don't be sexless.
But I mean, there are people that both of them have the ability is there, and for whatever reason, brokenness, there might be a little bit lack of drive, or there could be whatever going on there, but they just ultimately just choose not to. They're wrong. They're wrong for doing it because in God's eyes, sex is the formation of marriage. It's the two becoming one. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm in full agreement that there should be a ceremony. There should be someone officiating it. It should be before witnesses. All of that is correct. And I would say biblical. And I don't have time to go into that right now, but in God's eyes, marriage is made when it is consummated. And so if we're only supposed to consummate the marriage one time and it's official and then it's good for forever, then why did God put so much pleasure involved in it?
Right.
And God made it. And this is for anybody that's like, I can't believe they're talking about this. No, the church needs to talk about it.
Yeah.
God created sex. The world has perverted it. Religion has shamed it, but God created it and we need to talk about it. And so if a marriage is like, everybody has problems in their marriage in every area of their marriage. And so there's no shame if you've gone through any kind of problems or whatever, but if you have a marriage that does not have sex involved in it, you need healing in that area.
Right.
And you need, again, the people that are medically dealing with issues, that's a different story. But people that don't have medical issues that are stopping them from participating in it, then you're choosing not to practice your covenant. And that's where I was going with this, because a covenant is made between a husband and a wife whenever they come together. And if they're not continuing to practice that covenant, they're missing time-wise, it's not the biggest part of
Right.
a marriage, but you have all of this, you have all of this marriage, you know, interaction throughout the day, throughout the week. You go on a date, you look in each other's eyes. By the way, romance is for marriage. It's not for dating. You have all of this romance.
That is a huge topic.
It is a huge
I
topic.
wish we could talk about that. Maybe we should.
Another time. So, you know, you have all of this there, and then there is supposed to be a fulfillment of that, and that happens through sex.
Yes.
And so if it's not there, it's like it's, you know, it should be there.
It should be there. Yeah. So then, you know, practically
speaking. So how important is it?
How important?
It's very important.
How often?
But it's not the most important.
On average, should a married couple be having sex a week?
Let's see. 3 times 21. 21 times. Three times a day.
Okay. Let's be real.
To me.
Maybe if you're on vacation alone, that could happen.
To me, this is why I'm always big on vacations. To me, I think 2 times a week is pretty
minimal.
Yeah.
Minimal. Yeah. So at least 2 times a week, but hopefully more.
I mean, there's no Bible verse that says this, but
no, but like it's like coming together. It's an important, you know, thing that we do or should be doing. It's practicing, and if we're valuing what we value, we put time into.
By the way, we would never have this kind of conversation with any other people besides, I mean, us sitting here looking at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, this would be a really awkward conversation to have with other people.
But I mean,
we have in counseling. We've had to sit and talk through people and help them, like, hey,
and say like, are you being intimate? Are you connecting? And if you're not, how come? What's going on? Those are like very important things, because for, you know, men in general, they can just be connected and be fine and not need anything.
For men, it's much more physical.
Yes. But for women, it's more emotional.
It's not only physical for men, but it's more physical. For women, it's more emotional.
Yeah, and I would say it's even like emotional too, because like if your mind is other places, it's not going to be something that you're paying attention to, and then you just be like, and then, you know, we deal with like lots of like very practical things. You have to know your season that you're in, because when you're a new mom or you're a young mom and you're dealing with getting up at night and, you know, nursing children and being pulled on all these different directions, like your season's going to look different, and you have to be, I think in all seasons of life, you need to be valuing your marriage relationship and practicing your covenant and putting emphasis on that no matter what. And so we, like, for women, I'm just saying, again, you have to remember that you married your husband before you had children.
This is exactly right.
And that you need to be prioritizing sex.
Next to our relationship with the Lord, our relationship with our spouse is the most important relationship, and it is above your children. And we've seen this happen with a lot of women, that they actually put a priority on their children more than they do their husband. Now, I'm going to just tell you now, that's dead wrong. We've seen men put priorities on sometimes their children, but typically work, this, that, or the other, more than they do their spouse, and that's wrong as well. And I'll say this, for the reason it doesn't work in the bedroom sometimes for people very well is because of women being distracted and not prioritizing it, and then men not prioritizing loving their wives correctly. Mm-hmm. And because for men, the way to having a special evening is how you treat her during the day.
Right.
You're not going to treat her like garbage during the day and then expect a special night.
No, you aren't.
You're kidding yourself, you know? And then, and guys, and this is, God made us this way because there's so much more to a relationship than sex.
Right.
And it's definitely not the most important thing, because there are people that they get older and they still love each other even into their 80s and 90s. And sometimes, we're not there yet. And I'm not going to ask an 80 or 90-year-old couple if that's still happening. But sometimes I know that it doesn't, but they still love each other because their marriage isn't based on sex.
Right.
It's based on all of the other foundational things, good communication, honoring one another, loving one another, preferring the other one, caring about each other's needs, taking the trash out, washing the dishes, those kind of things, doing the laundry, like all of those kind of things that we do for each other speak volumes. So, but so those are the more important things. But those things for a couple who is young and well able and has no medical issues going on, those things are what leads to a great sex life. And again, for guys, it is mostly physical. But if they're dishonored or disrespected by their wife, this actually is not an excuse or a reason. I'll say it's an excuse. It's not a reason, and there's never a reason for people committing adultery. But there are men, and I've known men like this, who live with such terrible, disrespectful, dishonoring wives that they actually never wanted to commit adultery, but they couldn't handle their wife, and they ended up going somewhere else where they felt respected. I'm not excusing that behavior. That's terrible. It doesn't matter how your wife is treating you. You have no right to commit adultery on her. But I'm saying that those kind of things have fed that, because men don't want to just have sex and then be disrespected. They don't want that. And if their wife isn't being good to them and having sex with them, they do feel disrespected. There's lots of ways that men can feel dishonored and disrespected. And it's the most important thing for men. It's a man's number one need. But for a woman,
it's being respected.
It's being respected.
Not
it's
sex.
not sex. Sex is 2 to 3, somewhere in that for a man. For a woman, it's like probably like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 down the list, something like that.
20. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So
you think that it's not important, but it is very important.
If we don't have that part of our connectivity,
right,
we're both missing something.
Right. If we're not connecting like that, then.
But the way for men to be able to have that with their wife and it actually be a good time and not just a function,
right,
but to be a good and a point of really being connected is really how you treat each other. But for him, treating her, loving her, doing things for her, and I've had to work through a lot of these things. I'm not a real physical touch kind of guy. I can go all day and you'll be like, you haven't kissed me all day, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't. Unless the kissing is going to lead to somewhere, I'm not too interested, So it's learning to do those things. And for men, we have to learn. I heard this years ago that there was this story, and I don't know if it was like in a movie scene or something like this, but there was these, and it really is not appropriate, but it kind of paints the picture a little bit. There was these young boys that were looking at this woman, and one of them said something to the other one like, "Man, I'd like to find a way to get into her pants." And the guy again, it's not appropriate, but this older guy said, "Well, the way into her pants is through her heart." And so even though it was like the whole scenario, my dad actually told me that, and I don't know where he heard that from, but the whole scenario was inappropriate. So I'm not saying that that's good, but it still makes the point. And again, we try to always say this, that sex is between a husband and a wife.
One husband,
one wife, male and female, inside
marriage.
The bounds of marriage.
Yes.
It should never be outside the bounds of marriage. Sex is super from God. God created it, but it's only blessed inside the bounds of marriage.
That's right.
So, but going back to what I was saying, the way for a man to have that kind of relationship with his wife, that it's actually a good relationship, is when he learns to touch her heart. Mm-hmm. Because that's what women are really drawn to, is a man that treats her well. Mm-hmm. You don't got to be perfect at it, because I can sit here and tell you stories all day long where I have not been perfect at it. This is a struggle for me weekly to have like this uplifting, positive attitude. It's something I've had to work through. And you've shown me lots of grace, but the better I treat you, the better our evenings are.
Or sometimes days. We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, just even being like really real, you sometimes have to get creative in the way that you're going to connect, depending on what kind of season that
That's
you're
right.
in.
What kind of lifestyle you have and all that. Yeah, you have to be creative
Because sometimes
with that.
by the time night rolls around, everybody's tired.
Yep.
And so if everybody's tired, then you usually fall asleep. And you're like,
Yep.
well, shoot. But like, again, it's about, I always think a good question to ask married couples right away is, how's your sex life? How's that, because that's going to tell you how they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to tell you what's going on emotionally, if they're connecting physically, just the state. Because most of the time, if it's not okay in the bedroom, then there's lots of heart issues going on.
Yeah.
And those are then the things that need to be
Yes.
tended to.
And I was going to say this earlier. I interrupted myself, but I believe that God made, he didn't put the same sex drive in women that he did men. And every married couple understands that. But I think that the Lord, he definitely designed it that way so that we would be intentional with our relationship beyond the bedroom, before and beyond the bedroom, because there's so many things in a relationship about coming together that are more important than that. And if he put the same sex drive in women that he did in men, you'd have two people coming together regularly, very regularly, who may not even care about each other.
Right.
But women actually force this issue unintentionally really strong, because if a man doesn't treat a woman right, it just doesn't work properly in the bedroom. It just doesn't. I mean, she might show grace for a season or whatever, but there's not going to be that connectivity. So how important is sex? It's extremely important for the culmination of the coming together, but it's not the building block for a strong marriage. It's, I hate to say this, but it's the climax of a strong marriage. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
It really is
it
the truth.
It kind of is like a really good indicator about where your marriage is.
It can be for sure. Yeah. And so it's, if it's good, and to your point, if it's good, usually there's the foundational things,
there's
communication and, just relating to each other and romance and those kind of things. Those things are there and are healthy. Yeah. But if the sex life is struggling, and again, people could be going through some physical things or whatever, tons of grace for all that. After a woman has a baby, like it's, there's a time period there where obviously that just doesn't happen. And sometimes towards the end, before she's getting ready to, anyways, that's gets into deeper than we want to talk right now. But those are things that people question and wonder and like, and so, let me say this for anybody like, I just can't believe they're talking about this. Go and study how Jewish marriages, I don't know if they're done like this today. I'm sure they're not, but back in the Bible days, how they were done, like it was a very open thing that went on about like the marriage. It was like the marriage ceremony was it wasn't just like,
it was a festival.
It was a festival,
like a week-long thing.
Yes. And it was a whole feast and all of this. And, the consummation of the marriage, like they went into a tent
in the middle of the party.
Yes. And
consummated their marriage.
Yes. And so, I mean, it was not like exposed, but like everybody knew what was going on. And it's the way that we approach sex in our society is so screwed up. It's so messed up. And people are ashamed to talk about things that the Bible talks about more. And what's happened is that the conversation around sex in our society is actually very perverted. The only conversations that happen are perverted ones. Right. So it's like, okay, let's get back to the basics of things as believers We're supposed to be leading this conversation.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be the ones setting the standards for what's right, what's proper, what's in order, what's acceptable, what's godly. And instead, we either keep quiet about it or we join the world and talk like a bunch of perverts. But God is the one that made this. And our culture is so saturated with sex. People don't even know what's proper and what's right and what's acceptable. And we could go through a whole list of things that are completely unacceptable in the bedroom. And this is getting off topic from where we're trying to go. Really, the question is, and the point is how important is sex? And so sex in a marriage, to answer the question, it is very important. Is it the most important? No, it's not the most important thing. But if you don't have it, then you're missing something that God designed to be there. It's part of the way He designed us to practice our covenant.
Right.
It's not perverted. It's not weird. It's not something that should be taken lightly. It should be something that has great emphasis put on it. I think it's good that couples read good, wholesome Christian sex books. And learn some things, that wisdom that God's given to people that will help people in that area. We read books on, money, on, handling money, on disciplining our children, on just whatever. But this is one area where it has to be less taboo and we have to talk about it. And so, but the thing is that this is part of coming together, and it needs to be something that we have a vibrant sex life. I have a friend of mine, and he's just awkward in how he says things, but it just very genuinely one time he asked me, he's not awkward in everything, but he's awkward in this. It wasn't awkward to him, but how he phrased it was kind of funny. He said, "Is your bedroom on fire?" And I was like, "What? What are we talking about here?" He's like, "Is your sex life good? Are you guys doing okay?" And he genuinely was like, "Are you guys doing okay in this area?" And because he and his wife had, things they had to work through, and then they have a good marriage. And so it's good. And so not only is it important, it's not the most important, but it is very important, and it needs to be vibrant. It needs to be good. And people have trouble in this area, and sometimes they don't know why. And
so get help.
You need to get help.
There's not anything wrong with that.
You can start with reading a book if you want to, that a good, wholesome Christian sex book. Don't go listen to some weirdo out there that doesn't know the Lord.
Right, because then they'll allow you to bring perversion into the bedroom, and it'll mess things up.
Here you have
even more.
You have the former presidents of our country. At one point, I think it was Hillary, that talked about how that masturbation is a healthy thing. And we're not going to talk about that on this episode, but that is not a healthy thing. That is not something that God designed us to be selfish and self-pleasing.
Right.
But here, so you had somebody that was one of the leaders of the country, and her husband was the president of our country, saying these and indicating these kind of things and promoting materials that encourage these kind of things.
Trash.
The world is trash when it comes to this topic. The church is getting better at it all the time, and there's plenty of resources and people that can help in this area.
Yeah, that's right. So here is your question right now. How is your sex life? Is your bedroom on
First
fire?
of all, are you married?
Are you married?
If you're not,
get
then
married.
Stop having this discussion except with the Lord, and then once you get married, you can have it. But then,
for couples
if you're married,
who are married, is your bedroom on fire? Do you have a vibrant sex life? If you don't, then go get help right now. It's
true. Well, I was going to say dial something love, but then I thought that could be bad.
No, don't do that.
Anyways, don't do that.
Go find healthy, safe individuals that you can go have a conversation with to help you navigate through what's going on, and get to a place in your marriage relationship where your bedroom is on fire.
Amen.
You love each other.
Amen. I'm going to take that little clip and I'm going to play it for you every day.
Is our bedroom on fire? Yes.
Thanks for tuning in to Family by Design. We're so thankful you took this time to listen and participate with Liz and I as we discuss these very important things concerning marriage and family. If you're blessed by this ministry, in particular this podcast, we'd love it if you would leave a review. It'll absolutely help boost our ratings and help other people to be able to find this podcast to bless them as well. We want to give a special thanks to our partners. Those of you that partner with Ward Ministries, you make this possible. If you'd like more information about partnership, you'd like to become a partner with us, you can go to wardmen.org and find all the information there, as well as other resources. So we bless you in the name of the Lord. Thanks for tuning in.